You can see this graph of color disappearing from the world. There aren't as many colorful cars on the road.
It's true. Buildings, interiors, exteriors, as she said, cars. You watch that whole video because it's sad, but it's factually interesting.
This is one thing that capitalism has done to our society that I don't think enough people are talking about.
But this is why my whole house is exploding with color. It makes me feel so much better to come home and be surrounded by color and design and texture and patterns and art, because there's just so much missing. Everyone's kitchen is gray and white or beige, and brands and chain locations are all brown or gray. And even people's yards are just like really simple, super low cut, just grass. And it's just like the beauty of the world is disappearing because it's easier to make everything uniform and gray and brown and beige or white. But I refuse. I need color. I need lots and lots of color.
So this TikTok by Brad Walsh is Late points out how there's not really as much color in the world as there used to be. And he personally combats this by filling his apartment with color. But I think it's important to dig into the reasons why so much color has really evaporated from public spaces, because the heart of it is commercialization. The whole goal is to make sure that everything is marketable to as many people as possible. But this mentality has occupied more than just the generic business spaces that are taking over the world, and has actually infected people's mentality when it comes to their own homes, because you have a ton of people who will come in and buy a home, and their goal will not be to think of their home as something that they live in, that's a part of themselves, but rather to think of their home as a long-term investment. And if you think of your home as an investment, you might make renovations on your home that make it more commercially appealing, but might take away some of the personal feel of it. And I know this seems like it's something small, but it is something that is meaningful, because as human beings, we are social creatures. And we are creatures who like to feel like we are a part of something, and we also like to feel like we are individuals and that we are our own persons. And the way we balance those things is with culture, where we enrich ourselves with things that are meaningful to us as individuals, but also representative of who we are and what society we came from. This is why so many cultures have their own unique blends of colors, art styles, and art forms that they enjoy and share for generations. It is something that is both shared and personal. And it gives our life a lot of meaning, and it's actually pretty good for us as human beings. But when you think of everything in terms of like how many people will like this, well then all of a sudden you lean to the inoffensive. You lean to the things that everybody is going to like, or not necessarily like, but that the least amount of people will dislike. And that right there, I think, is at the heart of it. Because a lot of us really love colorful things, but we have different tastes about what colors works. And we all tend to like gray less, but there aren't a ton of people who have an extreme aversion to gray as a color. And thus, everything finds color being stripped away because at the least amount of people who are vehemently opposed to it, thus making it the most marketable option. But also at the same time, it homogenizes everything in society in a way that strips away the personal and meaningful nature of the way we express ourselves, whether that be through homes, through public artwork, or through the public spaces that we are a part of. And this is just one of the ways that capitalism tends to strip away meaning, purpose, and culture from society at large by turning everything into a commodity. Because under capitalism, the only thing that's sacred is a dollar.